Did you happen to come across this news story? Trump stomping in Nebraska freezing weather, bellows and brags about how strong he is and tells his rally followers, that he had arranged to bus in by the way, that they're also very strong and courageous and that a little bit of cold weather wouldn't stop them from coming to his rally. He even said, "Where else would you rather be but at a Trump rally?" Great. Problem is he finishes his sermon around 9:30 p.m., gets on Air Force One with all its attendant perks, especially what we all know as comfortable room temperature, and he leaves his followers waiting for buses to take them back home. Turns out the buses didn't come, and it was well past midnight before everyone was taken home. And in the meantime, some needed to visit the hospital instead. Trump is a brilliant politician. Honestly, I'm amazed anybody at all votes for this idiot. Remember this guy? Like Hillary Clinton, a most unlucky Democratic warrior. His year 2000 loss to George Bush will forever be remembered as one of the most painful episodes in Democratic political history, and I'm sure he would say in his own personal history as well. Now, the thing about Al is that prior to and after 2000, he has been most known for his advocacy on climate change. In the initial years, it was referred to as global warming, and is in fact a matter of precisely that. The scientific consensus is that the planet is getting warmer because of excess carbon dioxide buildup, and the cause is the burning of fossil fuels, things like oil, gasoline, etc. So where would you find the climate theme in his chart? It is right here in the third ninth house axis, which among many other topics, some related, some not, correlates with environmental factors. The third is the nearby environment, and the ninth, further away, all the way into outer space. Weather and weather forecasting are also in these houses. Look at the ninth house Aries Sun, a fire sign and therefore a hot sign, opposite Neptune. He can see the problem, and driven by the opposition and the ideology of Neptune, he takes it on as a problem that needs solving. I could even add that Neptune is very much related to fossil fuels as well. The idea of burning oil to get energy and light is Neptune ruled. So what does this have to do with Trump's Nebraska fiasco? Notice that the thing itself happened Tuesday night with the moon in Pisces, but the story broke today with the moon in the early Aries degrees, triggering Trump's T-square of Eris, Mercury, and Neptune. And the moon is transiting through Trump's ninth, which is both the weather and the published news, and it is rebounding to him in a very negative way, as it should, since it once again highlights his penchant for reckless, irresponsible behavior. Now remember, the core part of the story originates in cold winter weather, and the main criticism has been that he was letting his followers freeze to death. For anything cold weather related or otherwise, astrologically we go to Saturn because Saturn rules all things cold, period. And given where Saturn is transiting in his chart, opposing his Venus, he is going to be susceptible to negative hits due to cold matters. But here's the thing, the planets only impel, they don't compel. They need the actions of an idiot to turn a workable situation into an unnecessary problem, and Trump is the poster child for that very thing. Now, the story is being used against him by the media and by every Democratic politician with a microphone, since it so perfectly illustrates his uncaring, irresponsible nature. And I would say it will remain a story at least until the moon gets out of Aries, and it may even flare up with a venom when it goes through the late degrees and triggers the Saturn opposition to Venus, which is early morning on Friday or so. Bottom line, the irresponsible doofus president just arranged 2 to 3 days of the kind of media coverage he desperately needs to avoid in the days prior to November 3rd.